You had questions and I have the answers. This is a Q&A about whatnot. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Danica. I'm a part-time reseller. I was selling mostly on Poshmark, Canada, US, some eBay, but I've been kind of loving whatnot recently, and I did not think that was going to be me. Let's get one thing clear. I did not think at all that this is something I would enjoy doing. I thought it was stupid. I saw people posting about it on Instagram and I was like, how obnoxious, how annoying. And now that's me. But yeah, I asked on Instagram what were some questions that you guys had about whatnot, because I think there is a huge demand for some kind of content about whatnot, especially for Canadians. I think that we often feel kind of left in the dust and feel like maybe some things are not achievable for us. We see other people succeed in the US and we're like, can I do that? And I'm here to say yes. So I got 7 questions on my Instagram, so I'm happy to answer those. If you have any more questions about whatnot, make sure you leave them in the comments. I'm happy to chat about it. Like I said, I was the person that was like, this is ridiculous, I like, get it out of my face, and now we stand. Okay, so a first question here was, does each show need a theme? I think there are two main ways to go about having a whatnot show. You can have a theme, or you can go with brands. I've kind of done both. I've done a show that was only Lululemon, Aritzia, and Urban Outfitters, and since then I kind of just do fall theme. I just do like, it's October now, we're getting into some colder weather, so I feel like this is what people are shopping for. They are looking for cozy clothes for the winter time. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. I think once you build your brand on whatnot, that's when you'll kind of notice if you're being more successful in one way or another. Right now, I think my first show was my most like lucrative show, but I honestly think that was because it was my first show and it was like heavily marketed by me and by whatnot. So I just had more people show up and more people buy. Next question, can we it says there, as a buyer and not selling. You are definitely able, it's like Poshmark. You can make a Poshmark account and not sell on Poshmark. You can only buy on Poshmark if you want. Same thing with eBay, same thing with anything. You don't have to participate, you don't have to sell. You can definitely get on whatnot and only purchase if that's what you want. And honestly, I would suggest doing that for sure, to make an account and buying on whatnot, because prices are way lower and shipping is like kind of similar to Poshmark, honestly, except that you pay by the item. Next is Steph. She's so cute. It says, do I have to? Of course you don't have to if this is not something you feel comfortable doing. And I kind of want to elaborate on this one. I'm glad that she asked that, because I think there is a lot of pushback. Poshmark is also starting to get into live sales, so I think this is something we're going to start seeing more often, for better or for worse. It's something I'm comfortable with, so, and I didn't know I was going to be comfortable with it until I started doing it. I think it helps that I do YouTube, so I'm kind of used to talking to my phone by myself and being in front of a camera and putting myself out there. Also with my job, like being a flight attendant, I'm literally in front of people all the time and I have to talk to all different kinds of people all the time. So I think that helps. You don't have to, of course. I think I would encourage anyone to try it once. Just put aside like 20-30 items that haven't been selling in your Poshmark or whatever. Go through your personal closet and find items that you're not wearing anymore and list them on whatnot and see what happens. I mean, it is a process. You do need to be approved to sell on whatnot, so you need to go to the website, I think click become a seller, I think I have a link in my description to refer you. If you're in Canada, you will be approved probably much quicker than if you're in the States. They are desperate for Canadian sellers on Whatnot. So I would really suggest doing that. If you have like any reservations about doing it, or questions about the app, or questions about the process, let me know. Slide into my DMs. I'm more than happy to help you. I want everyone to succeed. I think there's so much room for growth on Whatnot. And now Poshmark live sales. That is only in the US right now, but apparently word on the street is it's coming to Canada. What's shipping like for Canadians? So I actually went to Tab's show, Urban Goddess Shop, and bought a few things. I think the shipping for my first item was like $11.50, and the shipping for my second item was like $2.50, $1.50, $2.50. It depends on the weight of the item. Like higher items might be like $4.50. If I had bought like a leather jacket as the second item, I would have paid a little bit more. So a lot of people love to bundle on Whatnot because the shipping is really reasonable. I shipped out a 10-pound box after my first show. So I've also done shows in Canada using USPS and shows in Canada using Canada Post. I thought it would give me an advantage, honestly, to use USPS, and I'm here to tell you it does not. I made just as many sales using Canada Post as I did with USPS. It is worth noting, on my USPS show, every sale except for one was going to the US, and when I use Canada Post, every sale except for like one will go to Canada. But sale-wise, it's not really making a difference. When I have more time, right now I'm working 4 days and only getting 2 days off between shifts, so I don't really have the time, and I have to source for the show, so I don't really have time to source, do the show, and then get everything ready to go to cross-border shipping before I go to work the next day. So I'm just using Canada Post for now, but maybe for my show later this month, maybe I'll do USPS again and just see what happens. If you're in Canada, if you open the app, there is a little Canadian flag at the top that you can click, and it'll show you the Canadian shows that are happening. And a lot of the time, I'm the only one that has a show in the time slot that I've picked. So as a buyer, how do we know shipping charges for US and Canada, the actual cost? I don't know if you would know the actual cost, because the way that I figure it works, because if an item is like more or less, when you list on Whatnot, you put the weight of the item with the listing, and so the person is charged shipping based on what you input. If there's a discrepancy, it's happened before where I was like, oh, I must have misjudged that, the chargeback doesn't go to the person, and it doesn't go to me, it goes to Whatnot. So I don't know and they use a third-party shipping company called Shippo, so their shipping is like not costing them very much. If you're wondering how much you're gonna get charged for shipping, if you go into a show, when someone pins an item that they're auctioning, there's going to be a little link that says shipping and tax. You can click that and it'll tell you how much shipping you're gonna pay on that item and what tax you're gonna be paying on that item. And then you can decide if you wanna bid on it or not. And as far as I know, what I've been told is that shipping everything is in US dollars. Shipping costs for US buyers buying from Canadians is pretty much the same as if they were buying from US. As a Canadian, I'm not sure. I don't know if the shipping is similar. I've heard it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Can you create bundles and pay less shipping? Yes, like I said earlier, your first item, if you're in Canada, buying in Canada, I think your first item is $11.50, and each item after that is like $1.50, $2.50, $3.50, or $4.50 based on the weight. I think it's in that ballpark. So I try to put my lightest items at the beginning and my heavier items at the end so that you're paying less shipping, if that makes sense. how much of a cut does Whatnot take? So Whatnot actually takes 8% commission compared to Poshmark's 20%. 8% commission plus there's a 3% plus 30-cent charge for processing fees for like PayPal or whatever. So in total it's 11% plus 30 cents per sale, per item, 30 cents per item, I think. Anyway, so it is half the commission that Poshmark takes, which makes it a lot like more enticing. The prices that items are going for are less than if I took the time to list them on Poshmark. Yes, I like to think of this almost as online consignment. I'm really lucky in that I get to go to the bins. I can source items for like 75 cents to $1, easy. And yes, I'm flipping them for like $3, $4, $5, $6-ish, which is not a huge amount, but it's quick money. It is quick money. If I can make an extra $500 a week, I mean, it's more than I'm making on Poshmark right now. So that's why I've kind of shifted my focus. I'm kind of really liking experimenting with Whatnot and seeing what it has to offer, and I'd love to see more of you guys on there. So that's all the questions I had received. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments, slide in my DM, let me know what your thoughts are. Have you tried Whatnot? Have you shown up to a show? Have you bought anything? And I'll see you next time. Bye.